Hi, welcome back to my channel. I'm Kirsten. I'm anointed with a message. I wanted to just make a video and share some things I've been reflecting on today, and it's through a movie. It's through a movie, and there's a particular scene in a movie it just keeps coming back to my memory over and over again today. And if you're new to this channel, welcome. My name is Krista, and I share the messages that the Lord puts on my heart, and whether that be through a dream, a vision, or just literal things that He just puts in my heart, I share those things. So take everything that you hear and just take it back to the Lord for yourself, and see, how this might apply to you, if it does apply to you, or just take what you hear, reflect on it, take what helps you, and leave the rest. Okay. But I was reflecting on a movie called The Fireproof. And if you don't know what that movie is, Fireproof is a movie. This couple is basically, their marriage is falling apart, and they're basically on the brink of a divorce. And then Caleb in the story, Kirk Cameron, he decides to stand for their marriage. He decides to stand for their marriage. You should really check it out. So if you don't understand like what standing for a marriage is, if you've never experienced it, if you don't know what it's like to stand for someone, I would definitely recommend you check it out, because then you could understand the sacrifice of what someone has to go through to stand for a spouse, to stand for someone until reconciliation. Then you would possibly might have the understanding of what of what is involved with that. So anyways, the scene in this movie, Caleb, which is Kirk Cameron in the movie, he was sitting down with his coworker, and his coworker was talking about, never leave your spouse alone. Don't leave your spouse alone in a house fire. Don't leave your spouse alone in a house fire, because if you are feeling to, show up for your spouse when there's, rock stuff, happening, chaos, rocky stuff, possibly a misunderstanding, or you're just failing to communicate with your spouse because of your own feelings, if you're failing to show up and communicate, with your spouse, then it's like you are abandoning them in a house fire. I mean, can you think of that for a moment? Just picturing your spouse alone in a house fire, burning. It's like they're screaming inside, they're burning. You're leaving them alone to burn, and that's a pretty powerful, I don't know, reflection. So I was just really thinking of that a lot today, on how much this happens, and how much like the enemy tries to divide people. It doesn't matter if it's a marriage or a friendship, or just like family or churches. Like, this is what the enemy does. He wants to divide people because he gets a kick out of it. And so just reflect on this. Like, don't abandon your spouse. Don't abandon your kingdom spouse. Don't abandon, whoever the Lord has called for you to pray for. Don't abandon them. Show up, pray for them. Even if you're not feeling like it, just show up. We can't let our own feelings deceive us. Just because you might feel upset about something, you don't let that get in the way of you showing up for your spouse. You don't let that get in the way of your relationship. That's why you don't go by your feelings. You go by the confirmation. If God has already ordained you to be together, you show up for your relationship no matter what. You don't let pride get in the way. You don't let the enemy get in the way. You don't let your work get in the way. You don't let your coworkers get in the way, or your friendships get in the way of your relationship. You don't do that. You show up. Don't abandon your person. Don't abandon the person that God has called you to stand for. Don't abandon them. Show up whether you feel like it or not. And if you're still if you are in communication with your spouse, show up. But if you've done your part, if you've said your piece, if you've gone out of your way for them, then it's on them. It's on them, then it's not on you, and y'all got to realize, we have to realize that we are human beings. Nobody is perfect. We're going to say the wrong thing. We're going to do the wrong thing. We're going to mess up because we're not perfect human beings. And you should never hold anyone to perfection. You should never hold anyone to perfection, ever. You never should. We have to be humble people. Humble people. Because humility is what unites people. Pride is what divides people. So just reflect on your life right now. Are you letting your pride win today? Are you letting your pride bring division to you and your relationships? Are you letting pride get in the way of you apologizing? Are you letting pride get in the way from you communicating? Don't let the enemy win. Don't let the enemy win. That right there should make you show up all the more, because you know the enemy's fighting you. The enemy is fighting you, especially if you're on this kingdom marriage journey. The enemy is fighting you and your spouse. He's trying to drive a wedge between you and your spouse. And if that wedge is already there, if there's division already, he's doing it because he's very, very threatened by you two coming together. Okay, and I share this often. But I just really wanted to share this reflections like of this movie, like how powerful that is. Don't abandon your loved ones. Don't abandon your spouse. Don't abandon them, because what you're doing is, when you're abandoning them, that you're leaving them alone to navigate everything by themselves, because you refuse to show up for your relationship. You refuse to show up and communicate. You know, pride is a dangerous thing. It brings destruction to relationship. It brings destructions. It brings destruction to so many things. So don't let the enemy win. Don't let him win. Show up. Pray, whether you feel like it or not. Communicate, whether you feel like it or not. Because when you can communicate, that's what brings life into your relationship. If you don't communicate, you can't bring solutions. You can't offer any solutions. There's no life. So think about that next time you fail to want to communicate. Think about that. The next time you refuse to communicate, okay, you're not only abandoning your spouse, but you are taking life out of your relationship. I don't know. I just thought that was so powerful when I was just walking in the woods, just like, wow. It doesn't matter if it's marriage or what. It doesn't matter. It's just like, wow, communication is so important. And I've shared it before, like I used to have a hard time communicating, you know. I've been in situations where I used to have a hard time communicating. But now I don't. I just don't, I don't want to be in those situations. So I always go out of my way to communicate. I always go out of my way to communicate. I always go out of my way to make sure that, you know, nobody misunderstands me. You know, but then I've gotten to the point where, well, if people choose to misunderstand me and not communicate with me, if they fail to want to communicate with me, then it's not really on me, it's on them. You know, it's on them, and their issue of pride is what it is. You know, and I've had this happen a lot in my life. You know, so I hope this message helps you, and that you really reflect on your own life and maybe ways where you've fallen short in this. You know, and it's important to reflect on when we fall short, because when we recognize when we have fallen short, then we can correct ourselves. When the Holy Spirit convicts us of how we have fallen short in our life, when He convicts us and it helps us understand in ways that we've fallen short, then we can do better. We can show up in a better way. So I hope this message helps someone, but don't abandon your spouse. Don't abandon whoever God has called you to stand for. Don't abandon them. They need you. Okay? And even if you're not standing for them, if you're somebody hearing this message and you know that this message really touched your heart, and you know that this is something the Lord is really stirring with inside of you, take what you've heard, apply it to your life, do something with it. Do something with it. Don't just sit on this message. Take action. But it's when we don't do anything about it, nothing changes. If we're used to doing the same thing over and over again, expecting different results, nothing works. We have to get out of our comfort zones and show up, even if it feels a little bit uncomfortable. Because when you can get uncomfortable, get into your feelings, not get into your feelings, but reflect on how you're feeling and express those things. That's what can change and bring solution to relationships. We can't expect to get anywhere in life if we're holding everything that we are feeling inside. If we hold everything that we're feeling inside and we don't express it, how can anything change? It can't. So, anywho, I just felt led to make a video, just like, I don't know, it really spoke to me. It really spoke to me. And I don't want to abandon anyone in a house fire. I don't want to abandon anyone. I want to show up. I want to communicate. I don't want any petty grievances or any little misunderstandings get in the way of me and my loved ones. So, anywho, if you found value, like the video, comment below, subscribe if you want to stay connected, and comment below what really spoke to you in this video. See you next time.